Yeah, I'm surprised if you believe in anything that comes from me. What's going on, gang? I'm Viper.
I'm Rumpo.
And we are FireteamHooligan of BattleChatterOnline.com. And this is the Prima Games Tactical Tune-Up. So glad to be with you today. We were sitting around and we were tossing around this idea about doing a series of videos talking about strategies that we use on particular game modes and particular maps. The map in question is Operation Metro and our favorite game mode in Battlefield 3, and that is Conquest. So let's go ahead and set up some landmarks here for everybody so they know what's going on. Go ahead and lay it out for them there.
Well, the first landmark that we want to talk about is in this video, we're actually going to be playing as the Russians, and we spawn outside, whereas the Americans spawn in the tunnels, in the subway tunnels there. So the first major landmark that we want to talk about is going to be Bravo, and that is the main focal point of the video. That is the main focal point of most maps that only have 3 flags. But while we're labeling things, we're going to label the 2 escalators and of course the side stairs. So the side stairs, self-explanatory. There's only 1 set of stairs on this map that are close to Bravo, and they are off to the side right next to what everybody calls the locker room. So the side stairs, something that you need to keep in mind. Next, in the main part of this video, for most of the video, you're going to see me covering an escalator to make sure that no baddies come running up the escalators there. That is going to be the Bravo escalators, simply because it is literally underneath the actual physical flag of Bravo. The second escalator, we're going to be calling it the Charlie escalator, since it is closer to Charlie than it is really to any other major landmark. So those are the 3 things that you need to keep in mind when you're watching this video.
When you spawn as Russians, or even if you spawn as the Marines deep in the bowels of Operation Metro, it's very important to remember, and this is something that I practice on every time that I play Conquest. The first nav point that I go to is Bravo, or the central nav points are so imperative if you want to be successful in Conquest. So I typically, as soon as I spawn, instead of stopping at Alpha for those quick points, I go ahead and I make my way to Bravo, because again, as we've tried to stress already, Bravo is the linchpin in your strategy on this particular map and mode.
It is, and it's almost a mental factor. Like, if you can get 2 navigational points before your enemy gets 2 navigational points, it's almost like putting it in their head that you are the team to beat, and they start to think that way as well. So as much as Battlefield 3 is a game about making sure you make the right shot, making sure that you have a good team strategy, it's also a mental game. As with any game or any sport, if you can get into your opponent's head, you can win the game. By taking Bravo right out of the gate, you're immediately in your opponent's head.
They realize that the battle is uphill. Once you have established Alpha Bravo as the Russians on this map, on this mode, the important thing to remember now is that you have to maintain these 2 nav points, because there is a counter. If the other team does happen to get Bravo first, you could actually fall back and get their spawn nav, which is, for the Russians on this map, it is Alpha, and for the Marines, it is Charlie. We call that Operation Chicken Sandwich, but we'll talk about that at another time. This is Operation Choke Point, and the idea here is that you are going to maintain Alpha and Bravo. Now, maintaining Bravo can be a mess, but if you dole out responsibility to people correctly on this map and get these 3 main points that we've already talked about covered, it's going to be very hard for the opposing force to get up those stairs or the 2 escalators that we've talked about.
And you know what? This is an operation that you can take. Operation Choke Point, you can do this with 3 people in your squad. As you can see, we have myself, we have Viper, and we have Dobbins87, which is a friend of ours from way back. Now, there are 3 main areas that the enemy can use to assault Bravo. So once you take Bravo, a lot of people have a tendency to want to take Charlie. And yes, maybe you will spawn camp the enemy and you will win the game faster, but you don't have to. What you need to do is you need to minimize the areas that the enemy can get past you and take Bravo. If you cover these 3 points, you will win the game. It would be ideal to have a 4th player in your squad as a floater, but here are the 3 points you need to cover. As you can see, looking at the video, I am covering the Bravo escalators personally. That's my job. You can call it camping, I call it winning. You will not see me leave that escalator unless I have to back up one of the other 2 people in my squad or something to that effect. But for the main part of this video, I sit at that escalator and I don't let anybody pass. And as long as I do my job, Viper can do his job. Now he's covering the escalators closest to Charlie. So what he is doing is making sure that nobody comes up those escalators and attacks Bravo. Dobbins, of course, as I'm sure you've guessed by now, he is covering the side stairs. The 3 of us have basically cut off those 3 choke points. There is no everywhere for the enemy to assault Bravo. If one of us goes down, we communicate that to the other two guys. One of them will fall back and cover that position. It allows us to react. That's where the floater comes in, is if you have someone who can move to whichever particular choke point they're needed at a given time. But 3 people can pull this off. As you will see in this video, we did pull this off.
These strategies are not completely foolproof, but more times than not, you're going to win on this particular map and mode if you can control your original nav point and Bravo. Bravo is the key here, folks. If you can hold Bravo, just like my colleague pointed out, you might call it camping, we call it winning. It's Operation Choke Point on Operation Metro Conquest. Keep in mind that you can get more strategic sweetness in the official Prima Games Battlefield 3 strategy guide. Be sure to pick up your copy today or just visit primagames.com and you can purchase the official Prima Games Battlefield 3 e-guide online to instantly have tactical tidbits at your fingertips. Please network with us on Twitter, on Facebook, and of course on battlechatteronline.com. Please like the video and subscribe to our channel if you have not, and if you have, we certainly appreciate it. It's time for us to go. This has been Prima Games Tactical Tune-Up. I'm Viper.
I'm Rumpo.
We are Fireteam Hooligan from battlechatteronline.com. As usual, doom on you, Mr. Tango.